In the controlled environment of a shooting range, the AR-15 excels. Long distances, tight groupings, modular customization. It's a precision instrument. But life isn't a controlled environment. It's messy, unpredictable, and often unfolds at close quarters. When things go wrong, and they go wrong fast, what do you need? Do you need pinpoint accuracy at 300 yards, or do you need immediate, decisive stopping power right now? Today, we're stepping out of theoretical and into the real world, where threats are up close and personal, and stakes are life and death. Join us for 6 reasons why a shotgun is better than an AR-15. And let's talk practicality, not just theory. We will conduct a balanced examination of the advantages and disadvantages inherent to both platforms. While the shotgun is currently experiencing a resurgence in popularity, thanks in no small part to exceptional recent offerings from manufacturers like Mossberg and Beretta, its once unchallenged dominance had diminished over recent decades for several reasons. Prominent examples often cited include the ineffectiveness of shotguns during the 1986 Miami FBI confrontation and the 1997 North Hollywood bank robbery shootout, where they struggled to match the performance of rifles in an urban combat environment. Consequently, law enforcement agencies began to transition from shotguns to AR-15 style rifles in patrol vehicles. Furthermore, genuinely practical and affordable semi-automatic tactical shotguns were largely unavailable until relatively recently. While serviceable options like the Remington 1187 police model existed, achieving true reliability in a semi-automatic shotgun 10 to 20 years ago required a significant financial investment, and even then, they could not approach the modularity offered by the AR-15 platform, even 2 decades prior. Ultimately, firearm selection is highly context-dependent, dictated by the specific application. For instance, the nuanced requirements of dove hunting would render an AR-15 largely superfluous. Conversely, a hypothetical scenario involving the large-scale military operation of securing resources in a foreign nation would almost certainly necessitate the deployment of AR-15 style rifles. Therefore, considering these differing roles, what inherent advantages does the shotgun offer? Let us begin by examining a foundational, albeit frequently cited, attribute: its substantial and readily apparent power. The immense force delivered by a shotgun is often conveyed through dramatic descriptions, in line with a well-known maxim, often attributed to a figure known as Uncle Clint. While pistols inflict wounds and rifles perforate, shotguns, when employed with appropriate ammunition at suitable ranges, are capable of displacing significant portions of an adversary. To move beyond purely subjective accounts, consider the empirical data from Greg Elifritz's analysis of 100 law enforcement shooting incidents. His research indicated that approximately 50% of engagements involving handguns resulted in a one-shot stop, with rifles achieving roughly 60%. In stark contrast, the formidable 12-gauge shotgun demonstrated an impressive 86% rate of immediate incapacitation with a single projectile, demonstrably outperforming both handguns and rifles in this metric. While this particular study has been subject to some discussion, the primary points of contention center on relative handgun caliber effectiveness. The fundamental efficacy and statistical validity of the shotgun-specific data, however, remain largely unchallenged and are indeed well-founded. Shotguns, in comparison to AR-15 rifles, deliver considerably greater kinetic energy upon impact. As a specific example, A 12-gauge shotgun slug can impart energy exceeding 2,800 foot-pounds, which is more than double the energy output of a standard 5.56 projectile discharged from an AR-15 platform. Buckshot, while characterized by lower per-pellet energy compared to a slug or a 5.56 round, nonetheless produces a cumulatively devastating effect. A typical 12-gauge double-aught buckshot cartridge contains 9 individual pellets, each carrying an estimated 200 to 300 foot-pounds of energy. The aggregate energy of these projectiles approaches the energy level of a slug, nearing 3,000 foot-pounds. Furthermore, the distribution of this kinetic energy across multiple projectiles significantly increases the probability of striking vital anatomical regions, thereby rendering buckshot exceptionally effective in confined environments such as home defense scenarios. Finally, the psychological impact of encountering a 12-gauge buckshot projectile should not be underestimated. It represents a profound and intensely aversive stimulus, highly likely to immediately cease hostile actions, induce physical incapacitation, or, at a minimum, inspire a compelling desire for immediate disengagement. To clarify, this is not to assert that AR-15 AK-47 or 300 blackout platforms are inherently less lethal than shotguns at ranges within 100 yards or inside structures. The central point is that shotgun projectiles are unequivocally devastating, consistently generating over twice the kinetic energy of a comparable AR-15 projectile. Secondly, the concept of shot dispersion warrants further examination. While exaggerated notions of shotgun spread are prevalent in popular culture, the reality is more nuanced. As previously stated, the inherent dispersion of buckshot patterns does increase the probability of striking vital areas on a target. However, it also provides a greater degree of latitude in aiming precision compared to the pinpoint accuracy demanded by rifles. Despite cinematic portrayals often depicting wildly exaggerated shotgun spread, a trope frequently employed in action films, and while we can momentarily appreciate the spectacle and acknowledge Hollywood's artistic license with firearm realism, such as the persistent depiction of manually cocking striker-fired pistols or endlessly racking unloaded shotguns, it is important to recognize that such depictions often diverge significantly from real-world ballistics. The strategic utilization of shot spread is indeed a valid tactical consideration. In fact, the strategic controllability of shot patterns is a key attribute. Again, referencing Ellifritz's empirical research, his testing of buckshot patterns from a 14-inch barrel shotgun, representing a realistic barrel length for interior defensive use, revealed substantial variation in pattern density based on at a distance of 30 feet. Observed patterns ranged from tightly concentrated groupings of approximately 3 inches in diameter to significantly more expansive spreads measuring a notably forgiving 10 inches. This inherent variability provides the operator with a degree of control over the projectile dispersion, enabling pattern customization based on specific tactical requirements and anticipated engagement distances. This inherent adaptability directly underscores the multifaceted versatility of the shotgun platform, which constitutes our third point, its remarkable adaptability. The defining characteristic of the shotgun platform is its unparalleled ammunition versatility. A tightly concentrated projectile pattern desired, select ammunition specifically designed for minimal dispersion. Conversely, a wider, more diffuse pattern required. Ammunition choices readily accommodate this requirement. This adaptability extends across a vast spectrum of applications. For the pursuit of avian game, birdshot is the optimal choice. For larger game species or personal defense applications, buckshot variants are readily available. For engagements necessitating deep penetration, slug ammunition provides a dedicated solution. Furthermore, the shotgun platform is uniquely compatible with specialized less-than-lethal projectiles, encompassing beanbag rounds, rubber projectiles, and even chemical agent dispersal cartridges. This extensive array of available ammunition types confers unparalleled operational flexibility, enabling the shotgun to effectively address a remarkably diverse range of mission profiles. Moreover, the capacity for rapid ammunition interchangeability provides a distinct tactical advantage. For instance, a swift transition to slug ammunition for engaging more distant targets, or the selection of specialized breaching rounds, can be executed with minimal delay. Notably, certain tactical semi-automatic shotguns of European origin, such as the Beretta 1301, incorporate a shell release mechanism specifically designed to facilitate the manual unloading of a chambered cartridge without cycling additional rounds from the magazine tube. This feature, absent in most American-manufactured shotguns, enables the expedient loading of specialized ammunition types, such as slugs, without requiring complete magazine unloading. Pump-action shotguns, in particular, epitomize this inherent versatility, demonstrating reliable cycling across a remarkably broad spectrum of 12-gauge ammunition, encompassing light birdshot loads, heavy buckshot variants, shorter-length shells, and even legacy paper-hold cartridges. The intrinsic versatility of the shotgun platform is a demonstrably significant operational asset. Point number 4. And arguably the most compelling advantage within the contemporary legal framework of the United States, pertains to prevailing legal interpretations and jury perceptions. As previously referenced, substantial disparities exist in how juries evaluate the use of different categories of firearms in self-defense scenarios. The aforementioned comprehensive 2009 mock jury research conducted by Dr. Glenn Meyer conclusively indicated that homeowners employing AR-15 rifles in self-defense situations faced a significantly elevated probability of conviction and were subjected to substantially longer terms of imprisonment. Jurors consistently demonstrated a discernibly more negative predisposition towards AR-15 rifles, frequently associating them with a pejorative evil weapon archetype, whereas shotguns, in contrast, generally elicited a more favorable and less judgmental response. These findings strongly suggest that, within the prevailing legal climate, the utilization of a shotgun for home defense purposes may yield demonstrably more favorable legal outcomes than the employment of an AR-15, both in terms of influencing jury sentiment and mitigating potential sentencing severity. It is also critically important to acknowledge the shotgun platform's unique capacity to deploy non-lethal ammunition variants, thereby affording a graduated force response capability should a given situation warrant a less-than-lethal intervention. Furthermore, shotguns, to varying degrees of regulatory restriction, remain legally permissible for civilian ownership in all 50 states. For individuals residing within jurisdictions imposing stringent restrictions on assault weapon configurations, the shotgun platform provides a demonstrably viable and legally compliant defensive firearm option. Within such legally constrained environments, prioritizing investment in a fully featured, high-performance shotgun system, such as the Beretta 1301, Mossberg 940, or the Mossberg 500 98-1, represents a strategically sound approach to maximizing defensive capability within existing legal parameters. Point number 5. Reliability, durability, and operational simplicity. This advantage is most prominently exemplified by pump-action shotguns, which represent an apex of reliability within the realm of long guns. The manually operated pump-action mechanism places complete operational control directly with the user, manual cycling, firing, repetition. This inherently robust design obviates reliance on complex gas-operated systems, which are inherently susceptible to fouling-induced malfunctions, and significantly reduces the requisite burden of extensive cleaning, preventative maintenance procedures, or specialized lubrication protocols. As long as the operator retains the physical capacity to manipulate the pump action, the firearm will reliably discharge. Pump-action shotguns, such as the venerable Winchester Model 1897, have consistently demonstrated exceptional operational dependability across over a century of demanding operational service. The Model 1897 served as a primary infantry weapon in conflicts spanning from the Spanish-American War at the turn of the 19th century through the Vietnam War, earning the enduring designation of trench gun due to its effectiveness in the brutal close-quarters combat conditions of World War I trench warfare, a testament to its lethality so compelling that the German government formally lodged diplomatic protests against its battlefield deployment. This demonstrable operational resilience persisted through World War II and extended to deployments in the Vietnam conflict nearly 8 decades later, with Model 1897 shotguns continuing to exhibit reliable and effective performance. In stark contrast, the early iterations of the Mi-16 rifle platform experienced notable operational deficiencies during the Vietnam War, particularly exhibiting a pronounced susceptibility to malfunction, including jamming, at critically inopportune moments. In contrast, Remington 870 Winchester Model 12 and Ithaca 37 shotguns, including the Model 1897, all served with demonstrable reliability in adverse environmental conditions, exhibiting operational indifference to inclement weather, mud ingress, and not requiring specialized, meticulously formulated ammunition. While contemporary AR-15 platform rifles represent a substantial improvement over their Vietnam-era predecessors, exhibiting reduced weight, enhanced accuracy potential, and improved overall reliability, they still inherently rely on a gas impingement system and buffer assembly for operational cycling, thus necessitating periodic lubrication and cleaning to ensure consistent functional reliability. Shotguns, particularly those employing pump-action mechanisms, exhibit a significantly greater tolerance for operational neglect and adverse environmental conditions when compared to the AR-15 platform. Finally, in point number 6, we consider the aspect of economic value. Shotguns, particularly pump-action configurations, present an exceptional value proposition, typically available at a significantly lower acquisition cost than even entry-level AR-15 rifles. Functionally adequate, albeit basic, pump-action shotguns manufactured in Turkey can be obtained for prices as low as $100. Even brand-new Mossberg Maverick 88 shotguns, a popular choice within the budget-conscious pump-action market segment, commonly retail for approximately $200. The Maverick 88, fundamentally a streamlined variant of the Mossberg 500, possesses a well-established reputation for reliability in both home defense and law enforcement applications spanning decades, further substantiated by its successful completion of a demanding 500-round endurance test conducted by TFB-TV. For a modest investment of around $200, one acquires a durable, dependable shotgun, fully functional, and immediately deployable right out of the box. While aftermarket accessories can enhance functionality, they are not essential for basic operational readiness. Conversely, while entry-level AR-15 rifles can be found starting around $400, Questions regarding comparable build quality to a Maverick 88 at this price point naturally arise. Furthermore, this price typically represents a baseline configuration, with many budget AR-15 platforms necessitating additional expenditures for essential sighting systems, such as iron sights or optical solutions, potentially adding several $100s to the total investment. Even an APSU configuration, AR-15 incorporating integrated iron sights, will still represent approximately double the financial outlay of a Maverick 88, potentially without a commensurate increase in inherent quality or operational reliability at the budget level. For individuals operating under budgetary constraints, a pump-action shotgun, exemplified by models like the Maverick 88, presents a highly compelling and immediately operational defensive firearm solution. We now invite your perspectives on this comparative analysis. Do you find yourself in agreement with these points? Or do you hold differing viewpoints? We encourage you to share your insights and opinions in the comments section below. Has this discussion altered your perspective on the relative merits of shotguns? Or do you remain steadfast in your preference for the AR-15 platform? We welcome your reasoned arguments and encourage you to contribute to the ongoing dialogue. Should you possess compelling justifications for the AR-15 superiority in these contexts, we encourage you to articulate them. They may be considered for inclusion in future discussions. Conversely, if you perceive additional noteworthy advantages inherent to the shotgun platform that we may have omitted, we would be grateful for your insights.